Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Monday Mongo. I'm Venkat and this is just me an open source channel. Right, in this video let's take a look at MongoDB backup and restore, how to backup your MongoDB database and how to restore it either to the same MongoDB instance or to a different MongoDB instance. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start a MongoDB Docker container, Docker run -d for daemon mode, -p 27017, name mongo-1, -v data 1. Let me change that to data and name of the Docker container to Mongo. Okay, so that's running Docker ps. So that's the container and it's exposing the port 2707. So that's running netstat -nlt grep for 270. So we have 27017 port running, and I've got the Mongo shell, which the command to backup and restore is Mongodump. So if you have used MySQL, you should be aware of MySQL dump. So it's similar to MySQL dump. So you have Mongodump and you have Mongo restore. So if you want to get these tools installed, look at my second video in this series about how to install MongoDB. And there are separate packages depending on your distribution. So I've got Arch Linux, so I did this command from the Arch user repository, MongoDB tools bin. But if you are in Ubuntu or CentOS, please refer to my second video in this series where I showed how to install MongoDB server and the other tools, the Mongo shell and these tools. Right, okay, so we've got our Mongo container running. Let's log into the container on this terminal. Mongo, as I'm running it on my local machine, I can just type Mongo. And bear in mind, I'm not running with authentication enabled, so there is no authentication at the moment. In my previous video, I showed how to enable authentication in your MongoDB and how to log in using username and password. For this demo, we are going to concentrate on MongoDB backup and restore command. So I'm not going to concentrate on the authentication bit. But if you're using authentication, there are specific roles which I can show you. Okay, so we have logged into the shell DB. We are in the test DB. So if I switch to the admin database and show roles, you can see the role restore. So if you want your users to be able to restore databases, then the user needs to have this role restore. And similarly, there is the backup role for if you want to take a backup using a user account. So that user account needs to have the backup role. For this demonstration, I'm not going to use authentication, but if you've got any doubts on how to use authentication, then let me know in the comment and I'll be able to help you. Okay, show DBs. I'm going to create a sample database with a couple of collections to show you how we can restore and how we can dump and restore it. Okay, so use my DB. So I'm creating a new database and the command is use my database. So it will create a new database and it will automatically switch to that database. Show collections. So I haven't got any collections. There are a couple of ways to create a collection. db.create collection. So that's one method. Let's say courses. Okay, show collections. We've got one collection. The other way is to directly start inserting your first document into a collection. If the collection doesn't exist, it will get created automatically. Okay, so let me add some documents to this courses collection. db.courses.insert many, and I'm going to add open up the square bracket and my first document and then second document. Let's add some couple of documents to this collection just to show you how to dump specific databases or specific collections or specific documents within a collection and so on. So for that, I'm going to create a sample collection, couple of sample collections, and then add some random data to it. Okay, let's say about courses, title, let's say MongoDB, and type of the course type is going to be online, and then the second document title of the course is going to be, oh, come on, I pressed the arrow key. Okay, the first document title is MongoDB, type is online, and then the second document title is AWS or Kubernetes or whatever it is, and then type is classroom. Okay, close the square bracket. That's it, that's done. Cool. Show collection. So we've got one collection. Let's add another collection. So this time I'm not going to create the collection, I'm just going to directly insert documents into the collection. That will create a new collection. So that's the second method of creating a collection. Okay, let's add a new collection called students. db.students.insert many. Okay, the first document I'm going to insert in the students collection is name, let's say Venkat, and what can we say? Language is Tamil, which is my mother tongue. And then the second document name, my other name, Shiva, and language is English. Close. That's it, that's done. Okay, show collection. So now we have two collections, courses and students. db.courses.find.pretty. Cool. So we have two documents in the courses collection, db.students.find.pretty. So we have two documents in the students database as well. Sorry, students collection as well. So we have two collections, one database that we created, which is called MyDB, and we have two collections and then two documents in those collections. Okay, I'm going to exit out of this MongoDB shell, and now I'm going to show you how to use Mongo dump command. So Mongo dump minus minus help. So I've got various options if you want to look at it, but simply because I'm running the MongoDB instance on my local machine, I can just type Mongo dump. That's it. So that's going to dump all the databases. When I say all the databases, it won't dump the local database and the config database. It's going to dump the admin database and the all the other databases. Okay, let me just show you what it does. Mongo dump. And if you're connecting to a remote MongoDB instance, you have to pause minus minus host, whatever your host machine name is. Let's say 192.168.1.81 if it's your remote host, and then if you're running it on a different port, specify the port here, 270, whatever it is. But if you don't specify, it will assume the default port, which is 27017. Okay, so that's how you connect to a MongoDB instance that's running on a remote machine. So as I'm running it on my local machine, I don't have to pause anything. Okay, so if I do Mongo dump, and you can see it has dumped the admin database and the MyDB database with two documents on the students collection and two documents on the courses collection. Okay, so where has it dumped the data? If I do ls, there is this dump directory, tree dump. Okay, so there is this admin database and the MyDB database, and we have courses collection and the students collection. So you will see two files for each collections you have. So one is the binary file and the other one is the metadata file, which is a JSON format. Okay, so that's how we do it. And if you want to dump it to a specific directory, let me remove this file, rm-rf dump. I don't have anything. Mongo dump minus minus out data my dump or whatever path you want. Let's say full dump. Okay, that's done. And if I do ls, it's full dump, tree, full dump. Okay, so that's how you specify if you want to create a dump in a specified directory. Okay, let me delete that as well. rm minus rf full dump. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is, so that's MongoDB, sorry, Mongo dump. Without any options, it's going to dump all your databases. But if you want to dump a specific databases, minus minus db, let's say my db, I just want to dump minus db, minus minus out, full dump. Okay, so that's done, and you can see it's not dumping the admin database. This time it's just dumping the MyDB database. Tree, full dump, and you can see it's just the MyDB database with the two collections. Okay, I'm going to leave the full dump as it is because I'm going to show you how to restore it later. And now we can go ahead and dump a specific collection. So what if you want to dump just a specific collection, not all the collections? So Mongo dump, you have to specify the database. So MyDB, for example, the database that we created. And in that database, I don't want to dump all the collections. I just want a specific collection. So minus minus collection courses. That's it. Minus minus out courses dump. So that's done. And you can see mydb.courses dump tree courses dump, and you can see that's our database, and we've just dumped just a single collection called courses. So we haven't dumped the students collection, just one collection. Okay, so the other example would be Mongo dump minus minus db mydb. If you've got loads and loads of collections, and if you want to exclude a collection, you want to dump every collection, all the collections except a particular collection. For example, say minus minus exclude collection. I think it's exclude mongo dump minus minus help grep exclude minus minus exclude collection. Okay, and there is also exclude collection with prefix. Let's check that out. Mongo dump minus minus db mydb. You can't just say minus minus collection courses. You have to specify because the this command doesn't know which database to search for this collection. So you have to specify the database mydb minus minus collection courses. So that will just back up the courses collection, not all the collections. And if you want to back up all the collection except a particular collection, exclude collection equals courses. So that will dump all the collections except courses. And you can pass multiple of these options. Exclude collection equals students. So that will dump all the collections except these two collections. And you can also use this command exclude collection with prefix equals uh, courses, or just a prefix. So that will dump all the collections except the collections that start with COUR, something like that. Okay, so we have the full dump, and we have just a particular collection. So the other thing I wanted to show you is you can actually query, you can actually specify what you actually want to dump. You don't want to dump the entire database or entire collection. You just want to dump a particular subset of the collection. For example, let me show you. Mongo, I've logged into the shell. Use MyDB, show collections, and let's say db dot students dot find dot pretty. Okay, so language is Tamil, name is Venkat, language is English. Okay, let's say I want to dump uh, just this collection, and only students that have their language as Tamil. So if we were to do that in the Mongo shell, we would do db.students.find.pretty, and within the find command, you would specify something like language is going to be dollar equals Tamil. There you go. So that's the query document. That's the query, and it has listed one document with that filter. So this is what we are going to use for the Mongo dump command. Okay, let's exit out of it. What I'm going to do now is Mongo dump minus minus db my db minus minus collection is students, and then minus minus query is going to be, let me try to get this right. Language query is language colon, and then dollar equals Tamil, and then finally minus minus out, let's say custom students dump. Okay, so that's done, and you can see here it has just dumped one database and one collection and just one document. Although the students collection has two documents, it has just dumped one document. All right, tree custom students dump, and you can see what it has dumped. So that's all about the Mongo dump. I don't want to spend too much time on that one. So you can look at Mongo dump minus minus help minus minus help, and it will give you lots and lots of options. You can play with it. I just want to give you some quick introduction to what you can do with these set of commands, right? Okay, so that's Mongo dump, and if you want to restore it to a database, um, if you're restoring it to a different database, you don't have to store the dump in your file system. You can pipe the command to a Mongo restore. For example, Mongo dump minus minus db my db, and pipe that to Mongo restore and minus minus host, whatever it is, and minus minus port, whatever port it is. And you can also use it in this way. So Mongo dump and pipe that to Mongo restore, that will do the dump and restore in a single command. Okay, let's log into Mongo shell, show dbs, use my db. I'm going to delete this database, db.drop database, show db. So our mydb has been completely wiped. Okay, right on this terminal, I'm going to do a Mongo restore. So we have the full dump. Let's try and restore that dump first. Mongo restore, similar to Mongo dump, you have the minus minus host and minus minus port option to specify if you want to connect to a remote MongoDB instance. But I'm connecting to the same the server that's running on the local host on the same machine, so I don't have to pause any of those options. Mongo restore is the command, and then type in the directory where you have stored your dumps, full dump. So that's all needed. Okay, that's done. So now if I do show dbs, I have the mydb database, use mydb, show collections, everything is there, db.courses.find.pretty, that's there, db.students.find.pretty, everything is looking good. So again, I'm going to drop the database, db.drop database, show dbs. So our my database has been deleted again. Okay, now let's try and restore the courses dump. Mongo restore courses dump. That's done. So this one restores show DBs. So we've got the MyDB database restore. Because we've dumped just the courses database, not the entire collection, just one collection, use MyDB show collections, and you will see, sorry, switch to DBMDB. I should have done MyDB. Okay. CLS show collections. Okay, so now we've got just one collection, and db.courses.find, and we have the two documents we have. Okay, again, db.drop database show dbs, and we have deleted our MyDB database. Now let's try and restore the custom students dump uh, dump file. Okay, show dbs with MyDB, use MyDB show collections. So we have students collection. Remember when we did the dump for this one, we didn't dump the entire collection. We paused a query so that we want to dump, or we want to export just a subset of the collection matching our query. And if I do db.students.find.pretty, cool. So that's the document that we exported from the MongoDB server. So it originally had two documents, one with language Tamil, and it had another document with language as English, and we passed it a query. The query was this one, MongoDB dump, and you also have to specify which database and on which collection you need to run this query against. Language equals Tamil, and we sent it to a custom directory, and we restored it. Okay. All right. Um, I don't want to drag this video. I think that's it I wanted to show you in this video. Apologies. Sorry about my voice. I'm suffering from a bit of cold for the last couple of days. So I don't want to drag this video too much. Just wanted to give you a quick introduction about how you can do a backup and restore. So as I said in the start of the video, if you're using authentication, it'll be a bit different. And if you've got any questions or any issues, just leave me a comment and I should be able to get back to you at the earliest. Right. Thank you so much for your time watching this video today. If you liked it, please share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I've got a few more videos in this Monday Mongo series. I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye.